And we're back. As you can probably tell, it's the same day. I'm listening to the same song as we just finished even. Okay. So here we are, we have Kovu, and we are going to finish this today. It shouldn't take much more than an hour at this point. It might be pushing close to the hour point. I don't think we're going to have like an extra video where it's like 15 minutes extra. If we have to push it a little longer, we will. I will put down in the description how long this video is so you guys know now that since we're starting which one we're going to be doing. I never really fully plan on when I'm starting my videos to make sure that everything's right, but hopefully everything's good. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Yeah, you can hear me. And we're going to get back to it. We have a lot to do today, but also at the same time, not like it's not going to be as boring as the previous one. Before we start, oh yeah, I want to get a couple things touched up real quick. For example, the eye part here. It's more comfortable to sit. Okay. So we're just going to get this touched up. Any parts of the eye, this part here around the muzzle. And the nose and stuff, because we got the lighter stuff came afterwards. Now I'm just using the pen tool. My tablet pen, which is also sort of like a pen tool, to do this. We're gonna have the same problem coming up soon. I'm not. So what I'm doing is I'm actually just coloring the darker color in a little closer around some of these lighted areas, just because it kind of takes away that little bright spots around it, especially in the darkest areas. Oh, computer, I know. It's okay. It's okay, we'll get through this together. Yeah, see, I don't want to kill the computer, so that's why like I'm gonna do this now, and then like it'll be like 3 weeks before I do another one. Which is kind of cool, because this week is also the last week of my gaming series on Friday. This I can push it to the end. Oh, come on, it's okay. Now that there's color, you have a problem? Come on, computer. I'm hoping it's not too bad for you guys. It might need a break, but I can't give it a break right now. So we'll just remember that next time I'm working on a picture, that it gets a break when the coloring time happens. And because I have, for that, remember when I filled in Kovu with like that plain simple color? I now, like I lock those pixels, so now I can like color outside the lines, it doesn't matter. So I can get like right up to the edge with the actual color that I want for his and not have to worry. The only parts I do have to worry about is like, for example, if I did this, it's going to show. So we're going to actually get out of that. Don't want that. So anywhere that's already within the colored area, you gotta go gentle with. But anywhere that reaches the outside of the colored area, you don't have to worry about. My computer is probably pretty loud right now. I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's only going to get worse, computer. Like, this is not... We haven't even done the background yet. Now, the quality is not the best when it comes to the background, so this is probably the only picture I'm going to show you all the way through to the end like this, with the background and everything. Oops. So now, because I need to erase this little spot down here, which I don't even know if you guys can see. Yeah, you can see it. I want to make sure that I unlock those pixels. Otherwise, it might look like it's being erased, but it's not. So now I can color gently on there, and then we're going to lock them again because we're going to work on this little spot here that should be the same as this color here. Now, when I'm normally working on pictures, my computer's not this bad. Like, it doesn't be choppy or anything like that when I'm working on this. It's just because I'm doing this right now. Or just because I'm filming, I mean. It's not normally a problem. Okay. It's only gonna get harder now. We gotta start doing the shading and everything. Okay. I can now flatten that layer that has like the little, I don't know if you guys can sort of see what's happening there. Looks kind of better without it, but I don't know. I don't know. I like it with it, so we're gonna stick with it. But now I can move that down, or not flatten it, but just merge down that layer onto the color, because I don't need it as separate anymore. I'm going to do, before I do anything else, I need to do a scar on him. He has a scar over on his side, so. And does it go through his eyebrow, or is it? Yeah, it does. Okay. Okay. Get comfortable. Get comfortable again. Because the shading I'm going to actually incorporate into the scar if it comes up to it. That's what I want right there. I love doing scars on characters. Especially because I've had to do it a lot lately with like the comic and stuff. Working with characters like Z now has the scar across his face, and of course LeVar has his, and soon a few other characters are going to have them, although Mosin's is not as fun to do. When that comes up, that won't be until like chapter 7, really. He gets his at the end of chapter 6. I'm pretty sure I've already spoiled that before, so if I didn't, I'm sorry. Okay. So now we're going to go again, same type of thing, just a different layer because we're going to have to erase some stuff. So I don't know if you guys have asked any questions because again, I'm doing this all on the same day, but if you guys have, I do post the videos to answer the questions just before these videos come out. So if anyone has asked questions, I will post videos answering any questions during that time, and it will be anything about how I draw, or I don't know, pretty much about that. Photoshop. I guess if you want to ask other questions, you can. I don't care that much if you want to ask about Disney or something like that, because I worked at Walt Disney World and sometimes people want to ask about that. But anything to do with what I'm doing now, and I'll definitely answer. Okay, so now I need to get the color for his scar, which thankfully we have right here. This will work. I think I got the right color there. There. So we're gonna finish this picture today. I hope. Well, we're at about 10 minutes, almost 10 minutes into this now, and we're just doing this. The shading can take a while, but at the same time, once it gets going, it's good. And I'm going to do the shading the way I do it. So if you want to see how I do my shading, you can. I was gonna do like, oh, I'll do like a new way of shading or something like that, you know, try something new, and I thought no, because I've been wanting to do something to show you guys how I do my pictures for a while now, and I feel like it would be kind of silly to do something new. So let me move this over a bit. I feel like this just gets bigger every time, like, smaller, okay, please? Size that I can actually use. Make sure you guys can see it okay. Yep. Okay, we got really quiet right now in the music department. It'll get louder again. It's just Mordak's Castle from King's Quest V, which is one of my favorite games. All of them are my favorite games. Most of them are my favorite games. Okay. So now we gotta figure out which way the light's gonna be coming from, and I'm just gonna do it the way I always put it. I could do it like some unique way, but again, like I said, even if it's kind of like on the simple side of things, I want to just sort of stick with how I normally do it. And what I'm going to do for this is I don't do this every single time, but it is kind of a popular way of me doing it. I'm going to put the shadows in first, like really rough draft shadows. And we're gonna go with that. Like that will kind of give me like a kind of an idea as to where I want to put shadows. And of course, the change of the music and me doing something a little bit more, computer's not gonna be happy about it, but that's okay, because it will get over it. Just gonna do like a basic kind of shadow look, nothing too like unique. So this kind of gives you the idea of where I want the shadows to be. And it's not like a 100% this is what I'm gonna do. This is just where I plan to put them for the most part. So there's basically going to be two things I'm going to work on. I'm not going to have like highlights per se, but I'm basically doing two sets of shadows. So we're going to start with the first set, which is the darkest set of shadows. So we're going to kind of make this a little lighter so I can work on where I want things to be. And these are going to be like very close to the edge of the character. The comic I don't think is going to have both sets. Unless there's like a lot of lighting, I tend to only do one set in the comic just because it's so repetitive doing the comic. If I was to do like, say, like a special picture in a game or artwork for somebody or like a single picture type thing for myself or somebody, then I'll do the two sets of shadows. But it's just too much to put into the comic all the time. Again, I'm not going to do like a highly detailed one. I'm just going to do like a good. For me there was weird it was live. Like no wonder it's having a hard time, but I'm not live, so that's good. Good news. I saw those lines on again. Oh, we're gonna take them off for now. Not that it matters. I am so sorry if I like don't finish a thought while I'm talking to you guys. There. See, my voice has gotten a lot better since I first started these videos. And it's all on the same day, so it's like literally I was just starting to talk after not talking for a couple days. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing these. I actually recently was not feeling well and had to call off work, and I sounded horrible when I talked to them on the phone, and it wasn't like, yeah, I had a sore throat, but it wasn't the sore throat that was making me sound horrible when I called off. It was just because I hadn't talked for like 3 days. So my friend was like, oh, you sounded really bad. I'm like, well, I mean, I felt really bad, but it wasn't, that wasn't why I felt I sounded horrible. I sounded horrible because I didn't talk. So that's one of the reasons why I want to do this now, because I don't want to be like, finally the whole thing going on, which I don't want to mention too much about. Finally that's over, and then all of a sudden I have, like, I come back to work and I can barely talk because I haven't talked very much. If I'm like, because I live by myself, I don't even have a cat anymore, so I don't talk unless I'm maybe yelling at YouTube or the computer. One or the other. Then I'll talk, but other than that I don't talk very much, so I'm doing really well on this whole thing because I am mostly an introvert. I have a few extrovert qualities about myself, and eventually it's going to hit me. And I know it's going to hit me, that's why I'm doing these, because I know that it's going to be really hard at some point during this. Whoops. So that's where my weekly video comes in. These are just sort of the starting videos for it all. Got it. Okay, so that's perfect. Looking good, looking good. This one is also the one that will be for the eye as well. What am I doing with this? Okay. This is like, you're probably wondering what I'm doing too. And you'll see. You'll see. I am doing the shading with where you can get, like, you can remember how we did last week with the select. After you use the pen tool and you select an area to either cut or draw in or whatever you want to do, that's what I'm doing. Oh yeah, I'll be able to finish this picture before the hour, I hope. The worst thing would be like, oh, well, let's finish this as part of another picture, because I can't do that right now. I'm not doing 2 pictures. Right after this, I'm doing Stardew Valley. And then I'm gonna do my own thing, because today's my day off from working on the comic. And what is this? Oh. Come on, close. There we go. This would have been so much better if I had a computer. Or like a better computer. Because I could have got everything done that I wanted to do. Oh, hate sitting too long. That's the one thing that bothers me. Like, I got a big apartment, but it's not that big. Okay, so now and I might change it, we'll see. I know you're not supposed to use black to shade your pictures, so I might try and be good for one thing. There, and then we go bring this back up. You get rid of all the excess stuff. There we go. Now, for the eyes, I like to get rid of this, get rid of this. So we're just going to fill them in. Should be good, yeah. One shadow layer, perfect. I'll bring back that other layer that has the eyes. I always put the eyes on a separate layer in case they happen to overlap anything else when I'm working on them. In this case, I don't think I really needed to, but it's just a habit I have, so I stick with it. Okay, so this eye here is actually a little further in the dark, so I'm gonna make this a little smaller. Just like that. Because it's a little bit more shadowed. Good enough. This one here is definitely way more in the light, so we're gonna have a lot less shadow. But you want a little bit. There we go. Okay, so that's the first set of shadows we're gonna do. We're gonna do one more set, which is going to be a little different. It's definitely very different, so bring this back up. I'm actually going to take away the coloring on him because it helps a little bit when seeing this one. Basically, we're going to cut out where we're not going to have any shadow at all. So, yeah. No, it doesn't make sense. Down to the end. Not maybe out as far. So here's where you can see all the mistakes that I make when doing it. And I might see some of the mistakes that I make too. Oh man. So, yeah, this is kind of I mean, it's quieter part, but whoops, it's still more fun, I think, doing the shading. Oops, I don't know if I want to go that far. with it. Ah, the entire thing is wrong. This is the part that I enjoy the most. It might not sound like it because I'm kind of tired and talked out a bit. I've been talking forever, but for you guys it's just sort of like, what, 26 minutes into this video? And here I am already being quiet. Ugh. That's the one problem with my whole plan with this, but you know, it'll be okay, I think. In the end, like once I get a new computer, I might like make these into speed paints if they record it okay. But have to wait and see. So yeah, unlike the other one where we're kind of doing more of the shadows, whoops. This one we're cutting things as opposed to doing shadows. We do have a problem. I need to get that little area there where it's not being cut. Okay, so we have the light will be coming down on it. That's too low even, I don't think. There. Whoa, not that way, not that way. So this would have been a good time to have like Vanessa Mercury or whatever you guys want to call her here, because she would have been like so entertaining. She was hilarious. Maybe I'll bring Mercury, like the actual, my cat. My cat Mercury, who I named after my friend. Or after my friend's character. She actually had a cat named Mercury as well. But, yeah. Okay. I might bring her over one of the days. Sorry. Don't panic. I'm not dying. There. That's what I might do. Maybe next weekend we'll have her over. I put the curtains up. They replaced the windows in my apartment. I have had no shortage of crazy amount of stuff going on in my apartment lately. So that's one reason why I can't do these on the weekdays, because I have no idea when they're going to be back in here again, and I don't want to make any plans being like, oh yeah, no, I'll totally do it this day, and then I can't because they're in here doing something, you know? I have notes under my door all the time. And in fact, before I do Stardew Valley, I'm going to check and see if I got another note, because I haven't been out for a week. Or not a week, but, you know, for a while. So I just want to make sure I don't have another note waiting for me telling me that they're coming in again soon. Who knows? Part about that, though, is that you guys won't know. Like, because Stardew Valley, I will be doing, like, this is on the first Stardew Valley that I did. Because we're still on that day. Like, back when this all started. Okay, I gotta do something about that spot there, so let me quickly... We're almost done, to be honest. Like, we're very close to being done at this point. This is like the happy moment, finally. We've got some happy music. Okay, wait, come on. Focus. Computer. There, get that down. What was I gonna do? Right here is the spot I need to work on. I want some shadow here. Okay. How am I gonna do that? Can I do this? I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can. I feel like I've done it before. I'm not sure if I can get that. Like if I just do that. There is a few songs where you're actually going to hear the music. Or like it's not music, so you'll hear talking or singing. Okay, so we're gonna come out through here. I think that should be good. Yay! This is when we'll know if the picture looks good or not. As if this works. Okay. We are ready. Ah, skirty. So I gotta do this on a different layer, which I feel like I made a layer. But let me make sure for sure that I did. I think so. So bring this layer up, take this layer off, and we are going to take this and we're gonna, before we do any, we don't want to select anything yet. I just got it there. I'm just gonna get sort of a how I want this to look. I feel like this should be a little bit more darker coming from here. Oh, that's why. That's why. Let me go back to here. Okay. Back here. That's a little bit more what I was expecting. I don't know if I want it too far up though, because the light's coming from above. But I just kind of want maybe like straight across. A little bit further. That's good enough, I guess. Okay, so now I go to make selection. And did it work? I hope so. Yes, it did. Okay. So now we're gonna get rid of all this other stuff. We gotta hurry. We're getting close to the end. I'm not doing like an amazing background or anything. I'm sorry if you guys were hoping I was going to. I'm just gonna do like a basic, quick background. Just because it's gonna... It's a little dramatic lighting. Let's bring it up a bit more, and we're gonna bring up his color. And these both go to 50. There. Minimize both of those and get rid of that. Get rid of that. This one here. There we go. Okay, let's get the background going. So we have a background to work with. I want to kind of do something closer to this sort of thing, so I'm just going to take the colors from here. Oops, we're gonna put both colors in. And so I'm going to take colors from here and oh, need the tablets back again. Since we're getting closer to the end, I want to I wanted like a good solid color, so maybe I'll just blur it afterwards. We're just gonna plot in a bunch of stuff. It's not gonna be a complex background, that's for sure. I'm not the best at making backgrounds anyways, so it's not like, oh my, you didn't do a good background. We're just gonna kind of, oops. Clouds, oops. Do clouds. I got a cloud brush. I got a couple cloud brushes that I made. Maybe we'll do that in a video. We'll make some brushes. Maybe. We'll see. I'll have to see what I have available to me at the time. Okay, it's a little too light, but again, we can darken it by making those locking the pixels. That's what I meant to say. And then kind of make it like a little bit more lighter, like paler, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Whoa, it's a little too pale. Edit, step backward. A little too pale. Oops, we should actually go back to the same color. Don't get carried away with it. We don't have like a ton of time here. Everything's gonna be blurred in the background anyways, so. Okay, the dark part to the bottom part is a little too dark, I think. So let me just kind of. Just want it to be noticeable that it's there, and then I think it has like a bluish look to it. Like underneath, there's sort of a blue highlight to it. It's hard to see. Okay, now I'm going to stretch them a little bit. Just because why not? There. And we're going to blur them. Oh, we're getting so close. This video might be a little longer because we haven't colored the line art yet. Oh, right. Not exactly what I was looking for. Blur now. Reason why is because I didn't have the pixels were not unlocked, so it was only blurring the color within that colored area, which isn't what I wanted. Okay, this part down here, filter, blur. I want it like a lot more. Something like that. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so yeah, this video is going to be a little bit longer. We haven't colored the line art yet, so we got to do that. And I wanted to kind of change the shadows on him to be a different color. For this, I like to, this is just my way of doing it. It's not everyone's way of doing it again. Is I like to take the color from like the just 50% darker. That's one reason why I'm using the black right now. Then I'm gonna go to inked. Is there anything in here that I need? Oh no, we'll find out, I guess. And we're going to color the line art now, but we need a good brush for it. Let's make this black. Don't want too big, I guess. That's kind of a rushing way of doing it. And I don't want to rush for this picture. I just want to have an enjoyable time with it. So, but there's not enough. Like, it would literally be like an extra 15-minute video to show the ending of it or something like that, and I don't want to do that. So this video is gonna be a little longer. And if my poor computer can just hang on a little bit longer, we'll get through this. There's a little spot here, but it shouldn't be noticeable from far away. You guys will know because you guys have watched this video. Thank you to whoever's watching my videos at this point, because yeah, it's been a while by the time you're watching this, so I appreciate you guys watching. If you have watched all along, or if this is the first time you're watching, this is great, and I appreciate it. And I hope you guys are having a good day. I know it's kind of crazy right now in the world, but things will get back to normal again eventually, I hope. Don't want to talk about too much, like I said though. These little stream things are not going to be about it. You can go watch. There's so many videos out there about it. But for those watching way in the future or something and want to know sort of what I'm talking about, this is the coronavirus quarantine time. And I know I have a few friends who are really, really stressed out about it. Like, really stressed out about it. Like, too stressed out about it. Like, calm down, people. I have some co-workers who are, but part of that is because we're not working, and you kind of need to work to have money. I'm lucky in the way that I need to work to get money, but I have other means right now, so, whereas some of the others don't. So I'm hopefully able to still save my vacation money so I can go away maybe in October if this is all done. It'll be fun. It's supposed to be going next month. This is what we get for putting it off. That's what I keep saying. I saved up for years for it. Okay, there's gonna be a line somewhere here. Yeah, that's where it is. You can always just go back and make it black if you need to. We're making good time still. Oops, no, that's not what I wanted to do. I want this one here. Now, I'll show you a little trick I'm going to do after this as well, so. That will, because you notice how it's all like turning the same color as the background. Oh, we have to do the highlight on his nose. This is why I have the black liner on a separate layer, because I can just quickly do that and it doesn't affect it. Just a couple of things. Use layers. Definitely, they're your friend and they'll help you out a lot. Because when you're doing things and you want to sort of get things done, especially when you're getting close to the end. I like doing this part. This is actually one of my favorite parts of doing a picture, is coloring the liner at the end, because you're so close to being done. It turned out so good. Wait, is this the... No, that's not the hairs. This is the hairs. We gotta keep them in mind too when doing this. That's going to show a little bit, I think. Let's get rid of that. There. Oh, you can also go around and make the... If you don't want to do the pressure sensitive thing, you can go around and like shave off some of the lines a bit. I'm not doing that. I don't normally do that, so that's why I'm not doing it. I'll make sure I get all the ones. Like, for example, here we missed this hair here. Can you... Isn't that the hair? Yeah. Oh. There we go. Yeah, it just disappeared. Don't worry, it will come back. I think that's the only one that's that color, right? The rest of them are all the black ones, so this is better. Kofu is an easy character to do. Now, yeah, it's like the line art is disappearing. It's almost looking like I'm erasing it, but I'm not. And I will show you shortly how, like, what I'm doing, kind of thing. So you guys can understand. Yes, it's definitely going to go on longer than an hour, but hopefully not too much longer. And it's always a good point to be listening to music. The times that I feel are most important when I'm listening to music while drawing is when I'm first doing the sketch and when I'm doing the background. Sometimes shading and highlighting as well, just because those are the points that the mood is important. Get in there nice and close. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're very close, I think, now. Isn't this the last part? Boom. Are we done? We're gonna leave, obviously, the main and stuff is gonna stay black just because it's not that far off from black, so I just leave it. We gotta go up here. Get the scar. Zoom way in. Oh, is that the scar? That is the scar. Sorry. I was wondering what this layer was. It's the scar. What happened there? That's weird. Okay. I get it. Sort of. Layer merge down. Okay. So that was basically the one part was on the layer, the one layer, and the one part was on another layer. But sometimes it can get confusing with layers, but they definitely are your friends, so learn to use them if you haven't yet. Or you should, I guess. I guess you don't have to. Hey, if you can pull it off without layers, that's awesome. But basically they're a really good thing to know how to use. Now we're going to bring this up because it's not as nicely colored as it looked when it was the black lines. And shadows, we gotta bring the shadow down a bit. Here. There we go. Boom, it looks awesome. Now let me just quickly take a look at this. Okay, so now you see how it's lighter? Okay, that's gonna be okay. That's okay. I'm going to, well, first of all, I'm going to duplicate the layer with the line art. We're getting close to, we're going to get rid of one layer just in case if we screw up. Don't want to screw up. We want a very feathered burn tool. So which is the one with the hand holding some, or like looks like it's holding or pinching something. That's going to burn the lines and that's going to darken them for us. There's probably so many other ways of doing this. It's probably not the best way to show you guys, but it's the way I use, and that's kind of what I'm doing right now, is showing you how I do it. So it's just going to darken the line art in the areas where the shadows are, so it shows them up better, but they're not highlighted. You don't kind of really want them highlighted unless that's the sort of look you're going for, I guess. There we go. So I have one more part I gotta do. Well, two more little parts, three more little parts-ish that we're gonna do with this. Eyes and teeth, which I don't have any teeth. I just made the layer of that. Where's the music? There we go. It's too quiet. We just have eyes this time, so we're gonna do the eyes. Nice. Now the eyes, I don't tend to do that with what I just did with the burn tool. Sometimes I will. In fact, let me just do a little bit here. Yeah, we'll do it this time. There. And we have one more part, well, two more parts with the eyes that we're going to do. First is the highlight. Get to the spot I want it. Oh, it's okay if it goes outside the lines because we'll fix it in a minute. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Why did I even do that? Come on. Like I saw that it was no, don't do that, and then I did it anyway. Okay. So we got a couple of things we gotta do still. Make selection. We're on a new layer anyways, so we're gonna work with this. White. White. Now I'm gonna put this below the black lines. We have a little bit sticking out, so we'll get rid of that. It's good solid. There we go. A little spot here I want to fix. And then we also have to do the highlight on his nose. Okay. Get rid of the shadow for a second. I don't know if this is a good idea. It's not gonna work. Okay. Second plan here. Another good time to use the pen tool. When I can't select anything anyways because the colors are too similar and I don't want to lower the tolerance of it. Getting there. It's gonna be over an hour because we're close, but I do not want to stop it for like, oh, here's the whiskers and we're done, you know, kind of thing. So that's all we have to do. That and the highlight, the other highlight part to the eye. Oops. There we go. Now we're gonna go here. We might have to change some of the coloring a little bit. Oh yeah, we're gonna do the shadows too. Come on, I just need the perfect brush. There we go. That's good. Good size. And there we go. It's not too bad. Even without the, like I was going to change that color, but I'm not going to. So we're going to do the eye highlight thing, and then will be the other highlight. And for this, I like to do it sort of in the shadowy part. This is just something I started doing recently. I've noticed a few people do it before in the past, and I kind of liked it, and I just never really knew how they did it. And then I found a way of doing it fairly easy. So I'm going to take probably, I feel like I always like to have a little bit of another color in there, not just white. So I'm going to pick something closer to what the background is, but you want it very light. So sort of a very, very light beige color. And I need to make sure I got the right size. For it, I'm going to stick with 9 pixel brush, and we're going to stroke, path, simulate, pressure, boom. So we got this sort of like weird looking highlight thing. We're going to blur it just a bit. That's way more than I want it. No, that's fine. Right there. And we're going to go to... There's a few different ones I have. There's light, not lightens. Lightens not going to work. Soft light. That's what I like as my favorite one. Kind of gives it a little bit more of a round look. If this was done right a bit more, it would look better. Maybe I can at least move it. The other one looks fine, but this one here looks a little off. There. Looks a little better. There we go. So yeah, this has all come together now. It's working. So there. So for this I'm going to use probably 1. Oh, we'll see. Whiskers can be kind of hard to draw. In my comic, I tried putting them to have a little bit more expression to them, but I don't know if they do. Yes, he doesn't really have much of an expression. I was going to sort of draw Pride Rock in the background. We don't have time for that. And it's not the end of the world that I didn't. Don't simulate pressure for this, because we got a very thin, tiny brush. And I'm going to, before I do anything, I'm going to get rid of these ones here. Go in. Because it's all on the other side of his muzzle. Okay, and then I like to take a little more of a feathered brush and kind of erase the tips of the whiskers. Oh, I can't see it that well. There, good enough. And we're going to lock those layers. I feel like this would actually be a good color all around for it. And then other than that, when it goes into that darker color, we'll use this. There, and then we can even use this on this side too. There. There we go, and then there's only one more thing I want to do, and that is with the shadows, and I think, let me just save it first. So most of the time I don't do this where I put them together first, but I'm going to for this because I'm kind of in a bit of a hurry. I want to kind of have like a background color for it, but you need to be dark enough. So there we go, I think I got it. Oh no, that's good enough. We're done. I just gotta put my name on it, which I'll do out. You guys don't have to watch that. And yeah, so as of this video, when this video ends, I'm going to post this picture on DeviantArt, and so you guys can check it out there. It will not be linked in the description because the video, when I'm posting this video, it will not be on DeviantArt. And remember, this was all made in the same day. The video was entirely made on the same day, so yeah, I might do like a little border, like a little black border around it, but like other than that, you guys have already seen this. If you guys want to see how I do the border, let me know. I guess I can show you. But for now, we got it. Oh, there's like one more part I might add. Nah, you know what? Screw it. It's fine. Well, I'll live. It's done. It's done. Okay. See you guys in the next video. And yeah, we'll let you guys know in the next Stardew Valley one, which will be next Monday, what picture I'm going to be doing next, probably, as well as this Friday will be the last day of the. Okay. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.